What's up, rockers? Welcome to the very first installment of Mahayla's Music Moment. I am your host, Mahayla, on behalf of Rock 92.7, and I am super excited to announce today's guest. She is not only a badass musician, but she's also one of the kindest, most genuine people in the biz. Lzzy Hale, everyone, from Halestorm.
Oh, that is so sweet of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, honestly.
The best intro ever.
Okay, I'm glad you liked it. But thank you so much for chatting with us today. And I can honestly say that I am so honored to have you on the show today, not only because I'm a huge Halestorm fan, but also I just love to see women thriving in rock music like you have. And I was actually
likewise.
Thank you.
I can say the same thing about you, Amanda.
Thank you. I'm out here trying. But, I was actually talking to a coworker recently, and we were both saying that, as like outsiders looking into the rock scene, it's always felt like such a sausage fest, And I don't know,
totally.
Maybe we're wrong. I mean, I hope we are, but I would love to know your thoughts about that, since you are women in the rock music scene.
Well, to be completely honest, when it wasn't that long ago that I was, carrying in my equipment to bars and clubs and all of that, and everybody always assuming that I'm the girlfriend or I'm the,
Yeah.
or I'm the merch girl or something like that, and not assuming. But it's funny how it actually has changed, even just in the past 10 years.
Right.
I used to be playing these. We're about to play Loud in Life, and there's a bunch. We're going out on tour. We have an all-female funded cast on our tour. It used to be where I would be walking up on any of these stages at any of these festivals, and I would be, I'm the only girl here today that's on this stage. And now it has completely flipped. I mean, traditionally, yes, I would say. Sausage Fest is definitely where we started out. But I am seeing so much happen, and there is this wave of strong, the female-fronted or even the behind-the-scenes female tour managers and lighting directors and producers and all of that. So we're we're breaking through the walls somewhere, and the rest of the world better look out, I suppose.
Yes, and I am so glad you said that, because I actually love this new age of rock where we're seeing more females come into the spotlight, and it just it makes my heart happy. But I also did want to ask, not just for myself as a woman in the music industry, but also for, those other gals who are wanting to work in the music industry, either on stage, backstage, off stage, whatever it may be. What advice would you give those young girls?
Well, I feel like from my own experience, my childhood naivete actually was part of my advantage, because I never really had a talk with anybody when I first started out, where it's okay, people are going to be treating you a little different. There's going to, you're going to be faced with disappointment and challenges, all of these things. I was just kind of let me see if I can do this every single day, and whatever's next, go. How do I play this by Friday? Literally trial by fire. So, I mean, honestly, I would not worry so much about what other people think about you, and I would not worry so much about if anybody likes you or how you're perceived. All that really matters is what you think of you. A lot of those moments that I had when I was, what I was talking about before, okay, nobody's expecting me to be in a band or whatever. So I started using that as my superpower. Whereas, as in part of the show, I started our sets out a cappella, in the audience somewhere, so nobody actually saw a visual of me before I started singing. And then all of a sudden it's oh yeah, by the way, I guess I'm a girl too. Cool. But honestly, I wouldn't, it doesn't matter. People are going to love you for reasons, and people are going to hate you for reasons. And neither one of those things matters. All that matters is what you think of yourself. So really, I would just put the blinders on and make sure that you love what you do. You love your craft. You work on your craft. You practice your craft. And then, just go out on stage and break all the rules.
Yeah. I love that. Man, that is such good advice. And for those listening, if you didn't write that down, you missed out because that is some solid advice. I love that. So I could talk about, girl power all day long, but I know that some of our other fans are dying to know about your current tour, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is one of like the first tours that you guys are headlining, right?
Yeah, as far as like post COVID, situations going on, we started one of our first, first I guess big tours after the whole lockdown thing was with Evanescence, and then we've had a couple of headliners in between, and we're doing this one, and we're taking out New Year's Day, and we're taking out The Warning, which, by the way, if any of you have not seen either of these bands, you have to.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I was just introduced. We've been friends with New Year's Day forever, but I was just introduced to the Warning on our last headlining tour. We took them out, and they're three sisters from Mexico. They all come up to my shoulder. They're spicy, just tiny atom bombs. It's amazing. They just attack the audience, and they're such great musicians. They've inspired us every single night. So you have to come and see them. But yeah, we're very excited. We're very excited to just have this kind of almost family reunion. Like we're going to go out there and we're going to do shows every night. It's going to be like summer camp.
Yes. And I have recently discovered The Warning because they have been, on tour with you guys, and I'm absolutely obsessed with them now. I actually,
nice.
I actually saw a video recently where, from a previous show, you actually gave Danny from The Warning your, was it your custom Gibson Explorer guitar, right? Or was it another guitar?
Well, you know what? The funny thing was is that I had thought about that, and I was like, well, I could just give her one of, like, my signature models, but I wanted to give her something that could just be hers and not, like, have my name on it, like, and not have my signature up there every time she's trying to play. So I ended up working with the people at Gibson and found this amazing, very similar Alpine White Explorer with 70s pickups in it, and it's just a classic, and it's something that she can do whatever the hell she wants to. But yeah, that had been in the works for about a month or two after I first saw her play, and I'm like, oh my God, this girl has just ignited me again. Whereas like now all of a sudden during the day, like I'm like sitting down and practicing with a click track again, and like going over like I have to be better,
Yeah.
So she was very inspiring. So I wanted to give it to her. So then fast forward, halfway through the tour, I'm starting to talk to her guitar techs and everything. Like, so like how can I make this happen? They're like, oh my God, I'm so excited. When is it happening? And she only has one guitar change in the set, and it was like right in the middle of the set. So her guitar tech like went over. He took her guitar, but then he ran away, and she was like just kind of left on the stage. And she's like, "No, you just go and give it to her." And so it was awesome. I love doing things like that, and she was, she was lovely and so grateful and she looks great with that guitar.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It was
fun. It was fun. If I could do that stuff every single day, I think that's the cure for any bad mood.
Yes.
Give something cool away to somebody that you like.
For sure. And okay, I have to ask because I'm a nosy person. But in the video that I watched, you kind of said something to her. Obviously, we couldn't hear it because fans were screaming and stuff. But could you share with us what you said, or maybe what she might have said to you in that moment?
Oh, well, okay. So she didn't hear everything that I said because she had in-ears in. So
right.
So there's actually a two-parter to the story. So I'm saying to her, I'm like, this is yours. I wanted to get you this because you've inspired me, this whole tour, something to that effect.
Yeah.
And then not realizing that she had no idea what I said. So at the end of the set, so I'm watching through to the end of their set, I'm side stage, And she comes over and she's like, "Oh, thank you so much for letting me borrow your guitar." And I'm like, "Oh no, that's yours." And she's like, "Oh, I didn't hear that. Oh my gosh!" And then she starts crying, and then her parents start crying, and it was great. It was a good moment.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, it was just a lot of like on stage confusion. She just thought I was letting her borrow mine, and I'm like, "Oh no, you get to take that. That's yours. That's all yours." What? So yeah, it was a cool moment.
Oh my gosh, that is so special. Oh, I love that. And I know that, you try to make every show special like that, not just, for your fellow musicians, but also, your fans. So, can we expect maybe a special surprise at your show October 1st at the American Bank Center?
You know what? You never know. It seems the surprises seem to be happening more often lately.
Yeah. Right.
And I think that a lot of it, like whether it's just that kind of, that simple act of giving or making a moment during the set, or even something, as simple as wishing somebody a happy birthday. I think that, at least for me, a lot of my mission has been doing more of that, every day, even if it's in a small way. Like even if you're in the airport and you like somebody's shoes, you're like, "Hey man, red shoes." It just like it takes nothing to do it, and it makes somebody's day, and then it makes you feel good too. It's like you can't really lose. So yeah, you never know. I mean, we fly by the seat of our pants every single night. Yep. So we're doing a different set every night. We have improv sections. We don't use any tracks. Mm-hmm. So literally we walk on stage thinking anything could happen, and we're trying to just kind of be aware of like what's happening with the audience. Where can we take this? So yeah, it'll definitely be a unique show, and it's a lot of fun, man. I mean, there's all sorts of walks of lives that come to our shows, and from 7-year-olds to 70-year-olds, and everybody in between, and I don't know, it's just this amazing feeling of community and unity, and I love it very much.
Yes. I know that I am personally super excited for the show. And I'm sure everyone else here in Corpus Christi is excited to see you guys. It's going to be so amazing. So I guess, is there anything else that you would like to say before we sign off?
I mean, honestly, just thanks to you for taking the time for me, and thank you to everybody in Corpus Christi for being such an amazing part of our Halestorm family, and I can't wait to see everybody on, I believe it's October 1st at the Selena Auditorium. So hell yeah!
Yes, yeah.
Let's come out and party with us.
Yes, it is going to be such a good time. Well, that is all the time that we have today. Thank you so much again, Lzzy, for being on the show. Seriously, this means the world to me.
Oh, thank you, Mahayla. I'm glad to be part of your music moment.
Yeah, yes. So tickets are on sale now at theamericanbankcenter.com, or keep listening to Rock 92.7 to find out how you can win your way into the show. Thank you to everyone who tuned in on Mahayla's Music Moments. Until next time, keep on rocking.